Hi everybody, it's Heather and Kathy from the Knot House.
How are you today?
Thanks for watching the podcast. We've got a little different setup. We are using Mom's iPhone. So
We'll see how that
I think
works.
the picture's actually a little clearer.
The lighting looks great.
Lighting looks good. We're not so close up, so I can't critique my bags under my eyes. I don't have gum in my mouth today. That's a good news too. So what are we going to talk about, Mom?
Well, of course, I want to talk about Edinburgh.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. So I think it was yesterday. We were talking about that we have to do the podcast, and when are we going to do the podcast? And Mom said, "Yeah, Edinburgh is going to be, an old story by the time we do it if we don't do it pretty soon." So I don't know that we have as many completed projects and things like that to talk about, but we do have Mom's trip. So
It was fabulous. It was just fabulous. Can I say it was just fabulous? I love Edinburgh anyway. The festival was great. They had more seating than last year. One of the things that they...
Wait a minute. What do you mean they had more seating? There was no... What do you mean, in the little coffee tea area off to the side?
There was that where the podcast room was. But then out back behind, which you would never have noticed, there was a huge tent that had seating for 500. So that's one thing that Fiber Festival does differently than, say, Rhinebeck or Maryland Sheep and Wool, is they have these great tablecloth tables and chairs where you can go and sit and knit, eat the best pastries in the world.
But that festival's indoors.
It is, but that's what, so is Stitches West, and they don't have that.
Oh, okay. Point made.
It's just a little different, that you can sit and eat, knit, visit, and then get up and go shop again. Or what we did is there was 4 of us, and we kind of kept our table all day, and somebody would get up and go.
Was it hard to keep a spot? Was the whole space pretty crowded?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, on Thursday, we had to wait in line to get in, but it moved really...
Like you and I had to wait in line?
Yes, even though we all had tickets.
Okay.
So it was just a matter of getting everybody in. And then on Friday, there was a huge line, worse than when you and I were there. And like around both sides of the building.
Mm.
And as we came up, I said, "Do you have tickets?" "No." So we just kept kind of moving forward because you felt like you were breaking the line. And all the way up, I'd say, "Do you have tickets?" "No." So we ended up walking straight in because we had tickets.
Because you had tickets.
Yeah. So that was Friday. Saturday, it was a lot more casual period. I don't know that there was a line. If there was, it was a short line on Saturday. Not for us, but for everybody else. And then on Sunday, it was really relaxed.
So you actually went all 4 days?
I did.
That's why you...
Aren't you proud of me?
That's why you got so many pictures than you posted.
Aren't you proud of me?
I am. Because if you have listened to us or know the history behind this, the year that Mom and I went, the prior year, Mom was pretty sick when we went. And I had to drag her around.
Well, I will say that I felt bad last year that I felt so bad. But I really felt bad this year knowing how good I felt and how much I enjoyed it and what I missed out on last year.
Yeah.
It was really great to see Annette from Pink Hazel, Julia from Woolen Flower.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I got to see Linda again.
Oh, well, let's talk about some of that while you're doing that, so that way we can kind of tie this in. So, I don't know if I think Pink Hazel. This is what would happen. I was at home, of course, and I was in Florida, and I was watching the posts of all the people in Edinburgh, and Pink Hazel had posted some things, and it was this double point. Oh, what does she call this? I guess it's just a double point case.
That's not double points, though.
This isn't. I thought this was double points.
Oh no, that's
This is circulars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I want a double point one too. Which we'll get. We'll get them. I can say I want.
And that's not how you fold it. She has
Anyway,
specific directions.
So Pink Hazel posted these on Instagram, and I would send Mom a text, and I'd say, "Did you get me one of these? Did you get me one of these?" And
I'd say, I didn't know you wanted one.
yeah, you didn't tell me you wanted one, because I don't say that I want things, and she says I never get excited about anything. So anyway, so she got me the Alice in Wonderland fabric. You can see the Alice in Wonderland there, which I gotta say, these are just
they're very
the
nice.
stitch work, and it's just so heavy. It's
not
just so
substantial.
durable.
She had little coins, for lack of a better description, that had a hole in the center with millimeters,
Right.
which wouldn't have done you any good because you don't know the millimeter of your needles.
And so part of the reason I didn't know this was for circulars is because she's been trying to get me to take this home and use it, and I keep saying, no, keep it at the shop. We're going to talk about it in the podcast. So I haven't allowed myself to really
if you look at it,
have it yet.
it has 3 tiers. So
Can you guys, yeah, they can see this because we're
Yeah.
at it up and down now, yeah.
So you could have 16, 24, 32 of all the same needle size.
Oh yeah, I got to do this in my next spare few minutes to organize my needles.
It's nice.
Yeah.
So,
My favorite little character is the card guy.
did you see the nice?
Yeah, and the nice, her little label, the leather label of hers. Anyway, so you got to meet Annette.
I did. Very nice. So it was the second day that I went back for this because I didn't know she wanted it, right? And here we get in early, and I leave all the other girls to go racing because I'm afraid she's not going to have any more. And of course she did, even though she sold out of a lot of stuff.
Now, we've asked her for these, haven't we?
Yes, and she said that she will get us an order, but she also said that this year she's going to do smaller orders and not as much.
Okay.
And I told her I'd be satisfied with whatever she sent me. Which, of course, makes it easy that way, right?
Yeah. All right, so you saw Pink Hazel, and that was good.
A little side note, I told her that I loved Edinburgh. She said she did too.
Here we go.
And I said that I wanted to open a yarn shop. And she said, well, if I did, she'd come work with me. So I don't know if you all saw on Instagram the 1 Victoria Street, the picture where I'm going in the door. That was really just for Heather's benefit. I knew nobody else would understand it, but there was a storefront that was empty on Victoria Street going down toward the Grass Market.
She's just trying to get a rise out of me. It didn't work. I just researched it, told her how much the rent was, told her what she needed to do to get a visa.
6-year visa, guys. How does it sound? The Knot House, 1 Victoria Street.
Okay, so let's keep going.
Anyway, Annette said that she'd come and work with me, so I'm leaving that door open.
Well, I don't think you should ever close any doors.
And Julia
From Woolen
Woolen
Flower. So this is the Woolen Flower bag. We saw her last year when we went, or the year before.
Last year.
Yeah. I've always
We didn't get any last year.
no, I've always loved her bags, her things. Tell me the story, Mom. Tell everybody the story about what she does.
Well, she takes old suits, old tweeds, and uses them to make bags. And then it's lined with linen. Gorgeous. I mean, it just doesn't get any prettier than that. And then,
She hand embroideries?
yes, appliques and I don't think she does. I think somebody else does. And I got Heather one of these at Christmas time. Tried to surprise her. Of course, she knew I told her I couldn't get it. And she
Because I had to ask for it. I told you you said, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? So then I said, I want one of these bags. So I knew I was going to get one.
Well, I barely got her one. But Julia saved, I had wanted a blue and green one.
Mm-hmm.
And she was sold out.
Because I love anything blue and green.
Right, she's always blue and green. So she saved this one for me. She had it put back.
Yeah, so this it's cute. It's got a little crow. I think that's a crow. Some kind of bird. I love the little pop of orange. So now I get to take these two things home
Yes.
and actually use them now.
Yes, you do.
And then,
She asked me if I saw Linda from Kettle, and I said, of course I did. She was one of my first stops. And then she says, well, did you see that pretty silver and blue?
because Linda posted this picture of this,
And I said, of
gorgeous
course I did.
DK yarn.
And she said, well, did you get me
See?
some? And I said, I didn't know you wanted it.
Well, I did. Now, when am I going to knit with it? I don't know. What am I going to do? So that was the other thing. We had to go back and forth. Well, how much do you want? Do you want a sweater quantity? Heck no, I don't want a sweater quantity because we know that's not going to happen. So we decided that I would get 3.
Well, what happened was, is I said, I got you 3. And she said, so what am I going to do with it? And I'm like, oh my God, Heather.
Well, I just think out loud, It's not like I'm really questioning you. I'm just thinking out loud, and
It feels like she's questioning me, just so you know.
talk out loud. So, anyway, I think the idea of doing a groovy in it is a good
that was
idea
my
because
thought.
I do love a groovy,
Well, groovies are easy to wear, number one.
and they're mindless.
And they're kind of a quick knit.
Yep.
And it would let the yarn,
Doesn't matter about gauge.
the yarn scream. Because it's
Yeah.
gorgeous. The colors are gorgeous. And then Linda helped me. This,
Now I think she posted this too recently.
she did, that she had some,
That she had
a
some.
little bit of it. But some of it has got gold in it. And some of it had more gold in it than others. So she helped me pick out what she had so that we got the least amount of gold in it.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was that. So I got to wind this up now. Now we can wind it now that we've talked about it.
Okay?
But we won't be getting this in
No.
because the exchange rate is just too much right now. So so go ahead. So finish. So what else did you do? Who else did you talk to?
Well, I saw a lot of people. I saw Amy from La Bien Aimée.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see Damie from Magpie. She was there, but I didn't see her. So was Tracy and Susan. I didn't see them. We met.
Oh, you got to meet Jess from Olan.
I did meet Jess from Olan, and that was fun. Got to visit with her a little bit. She's really shy. Very nice, though. Very nice. We met a lady in Rhinebeck that was from London.
Okay.
And
I don't remember.
she was asking you about your Ravello that you had on.
Everybody asks about that when I wear it.
So this lady comes up to me and just hugs me tight, And I'm like, oh dear, I should remember her, but I don't. And then I remembered that we had met in Rhinebeck.
Thank goodness Mom has a good memory.
And she wanted to know about the Ravello, and I told her about, she said, I can't remember the name of that sweater. I've been meaning to write you and ask you. I also ran into her on Sunday, because Sunday was so relaxed. It was Meet the Shepherdess, and it was just the smaller vendors that didn't really wholesale that were there. And she was out in the big room, and I sat and talked with her for a while. So that was fun, getting to meet her. And then one of my highlights is I was sitting in the podcast lounge with all these famous podcasters, right? And
Of which you're not one of.
of which I'm not one of.
Not yet.
We're from little old Frederick, right? And so I wasn't fangirling, but I was visiting with some of them. And this lady comes up and she goes, "Oh, are you Kathy from the Knot House?" And my heart's going, "Yes, ma'am, I am." And she goes, "I want to take your sock class. Are you going to offer it?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am."
But I'm in Frederick.
But and she said, I think she was from Baltimore. So it just made me appreciate even more all of our followers, all of our customers, and she didn't know that I was sitting with some really famous ones that she should have known, right?
Well, maybe she did know him. I'm sure she probably did.
Maybe she did.
Yeah.
And the other highlight, I saw the very most fabulous sweater I have ever seen in my life.
Did you get a picture of it?
No, but it's on Ravelry. She's on Ravelry in the sweater.
Okay.
So I didn't know the Fruity Knitter, and my bad for that.
You know now.
I do know now. She and her husband have a great podcast. But I don't get to watch.
I had seen it before.
I don't get to watch many of the podcasts. I don't have the time to watch podcasts. So this very striking lady, I would say she's 5'8" to 5'10", probably a size 10, you know. Gorgeous auburn hair, long, and she comes walking by the table in the podcast lounge, and I go, guys, did you see that sweater? Did you see that sweater? Of course, I did that a lot, and they all kind of laughed at me, you know, because there's color work everywhere, and I mean major color work. Even the men that you saw that were knitters all had color work sweaters on. So they said to me, well, go find her. That's the Fruity Knitter. Don't you know who she is? No. So I went up, I found her, introduced myself to her, and I said, this has got to be the most fabulous sweater I've ever seen. And it is Henry the 8th.
That's the name of the sweater?
Yes, Henry, Roman numeral 8. And if you go on there and look under projects, she's there. The sweater itself is not fitted, and it does not have set-in sleeves. But she fitted it, and she has set-in sleeves. And I mean, I would have loved to have looked at
Was it a long sweater? I haven't gone and looked it up.
Top of the hips.
I'm going to look it up.
Top of the hips. Golds and all royal colors. Just, it looked almost like a tapestry. And of course, I just told her it was the most fabulous thing I'd ever seen. And it fit her to a T, and it was the whole entire package. Alice, is it Alice Strathmore?
The name of the Fruity Knitter?
No, of the designer of the sweater.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a little bit slow getting there. You said it's what, Henry?
Henry, Roman numeral 8. So there were, and the other thing I have to tell on myself is there was sweater kits, colorwork sweater kits that of course they had all the samples of.
Is that it?
That's it, but that's not her. Is it Alice? Who's it by?
Alice Starmore.
Starmore. And if you look up Alice Starmore's things, they're all just exquisite. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if you guys can see that picture. See the glare of the lights, but that's the sweater.
And then if you go under projects to Fruity Knitter, you'll see it.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do that right now, but
Anyway, so I had gone to this booth where they had all the sweater kits, trying to talk myself into getting one, and I never could. I decided that we didn't have that yarn, and if we didn't have that yarn, then I really shouldn't be knitting with it. And each time I would go back and I'd have a different reason that it was okay for me to buy it, but I didn't. So maybe next year, because maybe next year we'll have the yarn.
So was that your favorite sweater that you saw, though? I mean, as far as all of the fancy sweaters go?
Yes, that was...
So, were there a lot of, I mean, I know there were a lot of Caitlin sweaters.
Not as many Caitlin sweaters as there was at Rhinebeck.
Really?
There was more Knit Love Wool. I can't think of her name. But there was a lot of hers that have just the yolks, the rounded yolks.
Yeah.
And there was quite a few Zwigs.
You made the Kristy Glass podcast with your little, whatever it was, dance.
Yep. Not as many
I
sunsets.
showed that to Lucas the other day.
Did he laugh?
It was right before he was leaving for his trip.
Yeah.
And because I was telling him that Kristy Glass was coming, and I was trying to explain what a big deal this is, and you know, I was telling him about the followers, and you know, Lucas is my 16-year-old son, and he patronizes me and listens, and you know, every once in a while he checks to see how many subscribers and followers we have, and you know, he gets impressed. But anyway, so I said, well, Mimi, he calls her Mimi. Mimi was on the her podcast, and not on the podcast, but the video in Edinburgh doing a dance. And he looked at me, because, you know, Mimi doing a dance got his attention.
Sober, doing a dance.
So I showed it to him, and he got a little chuckle, and then he turned away because the guys were coming.
You know,
Anyway.
for an old woman, right? A sober old woman, needless to say.
At least you weren't doing the shimmy with...
No, I was not doing the shimmy. I could have maybe done the shimmy better than some of those were doing the shimmy, though.
Anyway.
Only because I've done it longer.
Anyway.
I ate haggis
Every night.
night. And sticky toffee pudding.
And you know who has the best, you said.
I do. Deacon Brody's. Which is where you and I ate twice.
Twice.
They have the best sticky toffee pudding, too.
It was
Because
pretty
I
good.
know. And my other new find,
Yeah.
port and honey warmed.
Oh, yeah, you said this.
Oh, so good. I came back to the room and Benita looked at me and said, "Where have you been? Your cheeks are just rosy." I was warm all over.
So, back to yarn.
Back to yarn.
So, did you see anything that you think that we might try to get, or...
I have already contacted,
Yeah?
already ordered, Degelpin. It's a lamb's wool.
It's really soft.
I am going to try to have the Immortalis, Caitlin's Immortalis done in it. I got all the colors that I wanted. How's that for loud, right? To do the Immortalis, I had that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it'll just take one ball of each, right?
Benita got a sweater quantity of this orange to do. Benita got 5 sweater quantities.
You're not supposed to tell on people.
Well, she'll have them done next month. We'll probably have some of them in here as samples. She had a really good time.
All right, so this is lamb's wool.
This is
Back to the yarn.
This is lamb's wool. I can't explain to you how it knits up. You'll have to see it.
Sorry, I thought there was something crawling on the floor back there.
It's soft, but the stitch definition is great, and color work is fabulous in it. So we'll see how I do on the Immortalis. I saw a couple other things that I haven't contacted people about. It's just that the pound right now, the exchange rate, is really bad.
Yeah.
But I've got my idea.
There wasn't anything that's euros, or was it all mostly? The good stuff is the pound.
Is the pounds.
Yeah.
I talked to Little Gray Sheep.
Yeah.
Very nice. And so that's another one I'd like to bring in for
When we can.
when we can. I also, and you saw
For
this-
color work, though,
for
right?
color work,
Yeah.
right. So they're smaller skeins.
Isn't it amazing? I was looking on Ravelry this morning, and I was thinking about something that I might start. And all of the color work sweaters now, all with the color work around the yoke, it's just all become so popular.
And I contributed to Caitlin Hunter,
Right.
giving us a little different take
Right.
on color work.
Right.
You know, it's not the traditional
Right.
Scandinavian Fair Isle color work, even though over there that is truly what everyone does.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess before we go into Kristy Glass coming, I guess we could, briefly mention that Caitlin Hunter is going to be here.
Yes.
I think her classes are all full.
I had 2 cancellations.
Okay.
I've had one in the color work and one in the steeking, And I think I've got 1 or 2 left in the design.
In the design class?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so if there's anybody out there that is in the area, and that's the 14th and 15th of April.
13th and 14th.
13th and 14th, I'm sorry.
And they're back on the website.
They're up under classes on the website.
Under classes on the website.
So you can find that at www.knothousyarns.com. And then she's going to be here for a meet and greet Saturday morning. So that's the 14th.
That's the 14th.
Right.
From 9 until 10:30.
9 till 10:30. And that's a free event. We're not charging for that meet and greet. So all you Caitlin Hunter fans out there, you're welcome to come to Frederick and stop in. I'm sure we'll have coffee and tea and goodies.
We will.
It'll be a good time. We're looking forward to it. Hopefully I can be here for a little while. I should be able to be here. You asked me that, and I should be able to be here for that. I don't have to be at work till 11.
Okay, good.
So, and then the next event after that, but we're going to have a podcast before then, I'm sure.
Hopefully.
We will, is, the Maryland Sheep and Wool pop-up event. Everybody's going to be gearing up for that. The dyers hopefully will start posting things on Instagram, and we'll start posting things.
I heard from Sandra from Duck Duck Wool. She's going to come and check it out, check out her spot. We're going to talk before the pop-up.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say she was going to come for the Caitlin Hunter
No.
meet and greet. Well, she might do that too.
She might do that too.
Okay. So that's again May 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yes.
You can find out more information about that on our website and our blog. Oh, and about the blog, if you sign up for our blog and you received it twice, there was a change that was made to our website, and I think that might be the reason it went out twice. My apologies for that. It shouldn't have happened that way. I am aware of it, and I am working on getting it corrected. Hopefully another fluke doesn't happen and it doesn't go out again. So anyway, so you want to talk about Kristy Glass coming?
That she was here?
That she was here? Yeah.
We can do that. We can talk about it.
So, what was it? Yesterday or was it the day before?
Friday.
It was Friday. So it was Friday, I guess, and Kristy Glass came and did an interview.
She did?
She did a live studio audience interview with us, which was fun. I haven't really spent that much time with Kristy. We've just met her a few times really quick.
I probably have seen her more than you have.
Yeah. So that was fun. She was, Kristy, I think she's pretty much on all the time.
She wears me out just watching her.
She's got so much energy. And I have to say, it's fun and refreshing to see somebody that is just truly so excited and uninhibited, and she's just so, I don't know how
open.
She's open, and she's just fun in front of the camera.
She's very animated.
She's very animated, yeah. But we all know that about Kristy anyway. So we were able to. She's not going to post our video until I think the first part of May, or the
right.
interview. But we were able to ask her a few questions to put in our podcast. So just a little intro to that. We were at the end of the interview. We were a little loopy, and she'd gotten into some of the personal stuff that I don't know that she'll talk about. But we were asking questions, and so that's what the little snippet is. I wish I would have asked her some other questions. I was thinking of some. So anyway, so I'm going to insert a little snippet of that video. Probably do that right here.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then we'll just be back in a few minutes.
All right.
Ding,
Thanks.
Are we all in it?
See?
How did you know that would work
Oh
like
my
that?
gosh, I forgot my tripod so many times.
It's like you're an expert.
Hey! Hey, welcome to what do you call your podcast?
The Knot House Podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Knot House Podcast.
Look at who we've got.
I'm Kristy Glass.
So,
Kristy Glass.
yeah, so we're here at the Knot House, and Kristy decided, well, actually we had this plan for a while.
Yeah.
And we were just talking a little bit ago about how she had to cancel back in January, and it's
Reschedule.
Right, not cancel, reschedule. It's
Reschedule.
all about
about
the
the
words.
words.
It's all about the presentation, right? So it's the end of March, and we just had a nice interview with Kristy, and I just asked Kristy if we could reciprocate and ask Kristy some questions, and now I've got to think of some questions.
Okay, think of a good question.
Well, we were just talking. So, what were you like in third grade?
Oh my gosh, third grade was a rough year. I was a bully.
Oh no.
Yep, there was a girl who lived
You were
across
tall?
the street. I wasn't tall. No, I didn't shoot up till everyone else stopped growing. Because I'm not crazy tall.
You are.
You're short, Mom.
But I didn't shoot. I grew like everyone else, and then I just kind of like grew a little more. It wasn't awkward.
How tall are you?
I'm just 5'8" and 3/4, and the reason I know that is because at the pediatrician, my daughter who turned 16 really wanted to be taller than me, so I also had to get measured. And she is 5'9" and 1/4, and I am 5'8" and 3/4, so she is taller than me.
That
That's why I
sounds
know.
familiar, doesn't it?
That's why I know that. But I always put 5'9" on my casting sheet because
Okay.
5'9" sounds better.
That's 9 inches taller than I am.
Is it?
You're only 5 feet.
Yeah.
I thought you were 5'2".
Well, with hair poof. And that counts, right? Why do you think I have it sticking straight up all the
I
time?
love it. I love it. But in third grade, I was a bully. And so my neighbor across the street, it was one of those things where you make friends with the new girl over the summer, and then you get to school and realize, oh, wait a second. I'm not sure if you're cool. I was that kid. That was the mean kid. And so I hit her. I yelled at her. I was terrible to her.
You were physical.
I was physical, and I remember when I realized, because I don't think that bullies realize it in the moment that they're doing that always. So for me, I know I was just sort of acting out because of just my life and processing things. There was a lot of change in my personal
Right.
life at the time. So when I finally realized what I had done, how I had behaved, and how it had affected that other person. So we graduated high school together, this girl, and I kid you not, I must have apologized to her every day, like the rest of our lives. I'd be like, Lauren, how are you? I'm so sorry. Like the rest of our lives. Like graduation, I'm like, happy graduation, I'm so sorry.
Are you ever going to forgive me?
Oh my gosh, it's so, well, and it's hard to forgive yourself because,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure there's some bullies out there who know they're doing it, but I really don't think I understood. And once I did, I felt so much remorse, and I'll still feel it. I'll see her on Facebook and go, oh Lauren, I'm just so sorry about the bus. You know, I just feel it. So yeah, it was rough. It was rough. Third grade was rough. But I was smart.
Oh, that's good.
But I didn't want to be smart because it wasn't cool to be smart. I was really concerned about being cool until I realized that that is not the way to be cool.
Did you ever smoke?
Never. I've never tried it. But I used to have dreams about it a lot. I still will have a dream about it sometimes. I don't know why.
You probably will now.
Yeah, but I've never tried it.
Yeah.
And I've also never tried alcohol either. I know you don't believe that. But
No, I believe it if you say
I haven't
it.
tried drugs either. So I don't do that for religious purposes, but I also, my biological father is an addict. He has actually passed away. But because of that, I just am really...
I was always scared.
I didn't understand it until I was an adult. I didn't know he was until I was an adult. But since I do now know, I really try to educate my children. Like I make them watch documentaries on heroin, for example. And I just show them what drugs can do to you, and that
I do the same thing for hoarding.
Yeah, or yeah, something like that. Well, that's an addiction also. It is.
Right.
So yeah, same thing.
Or my 600-pound life.
Yeah, I mean, all of that is a manifestation of something else, right?
Hoarding yarn.
Yeah, hoarding yarn. Yeah. So I'm just very aware that I could possibly have the gene.
You
for
could
that.
be prone, yeah.
Yeah. So even if I decided not to do it for religious reasons, I probably wouldn't do it.
Why 10?
My
that make
mother
sense?
was an alcoholic, and I am very aware, always have been very aware of the pitfalls.
Yeah. Also, I'm a singer, so I was
didn't
never
know you
going
were
to be.
a singer.
Yeah, so my first professional job was working for the Disney company in the Chicago theater. I was a princess. They had like dancers.
She's not shy at all.
So they
Not at
so
all.
they had like, you know, Cinderella and Snow White and all the princesses, and then they hired 10 singers to be prototypes of them. So while Cinderella was dancing across the stage, I was like on the platform saying, "Can you feel the love tonight?" with my prince. So I had like the dress, like the gold dress, and I was 18. I was so excited. That was like my best. I still haven't had a theater job as good as that job. Yeah, it was good.
All right.
Yeah. Any other questions?
So I wanted to ask you just really quick. I know you can't talk a lot about the little craftsy thing,
Yeah.
but just, for our viewers that, may be fans of yours, just kind of tell them when it will be released or,
Yeah.
what you can say about it.
Yeah, so this spring, I've heard April 11th, but that could always change, so don't
Right.
hold me to that.
Okay.
And I guess I can't say the name of it yet, which is silly, but it's okay. So I went to Denver for 1 week and I shot a 5-episode show for Craftsy. It's different from anything you've seen on Craftsy before. It's not a lesson. It's not teaching you how to do something. It's just sort of geeking out on a topic, which would be knitting. And there's lots of crazy costumes and there's a few guest appearances and from someone I can't name yet, and you don't know him.
So it's a him.
It's a him, and so I'm just really excited about it. I think you'll like it because it's just really different. So NBC bought Craftsy, and so they've tried to.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they've really tried to sort of change their trajectory a little bit to be more. They call it edutainment. Edutainment. Oh hey. So it's like entertaining. It's like entertaining instead of just learning how to do something. So you'll learn something from my show, but maybe you'll laugh a little bit while you're learning it.
I imagine we will.
You can laugh at me. It's okay. I'm cool with it. I laugh at myself all the time.
Well, I just want to thank you for coming and doing the interview that you did with us. And
Oh, yeah.
It means a lot. And
I loved it. Your shop is so great. If you're ever in the DC area, or I call it Nova. I'm staying in Nova, Northern Virginia, or Maryland, you should really plan on stopping in. This is a beautiful space, and you have like really beautiful yarn and
Thank you.
salt of the earth people. Right
Thank
here.
you.
Right here, mom and daughter.
Thank you, Kristy.
all right. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. And we're back.
And we're back. All right. So what are we going to talk about? Well, you want to talk about?
You're supposed to ask what I'm wearing.
Oh, excuse me. What are you wearing?
So I haven't finished anything. That was the thing when we were talking about the podcast. I told Mom, I said, Mom, we can't do the podcast. I haven't finished a damn thing. And she said, well, if we keep waiting, Heather, Edinburgh's gonna come and go, and we'll be next year. So,
So what are you wearing?
so I'm wearing. I pulled this, so I decided I'll just wear shop samples.
It works. It works.
So I'm wearing the Fever Dreams, and this was this a spin cycle design?
Rachel.
Rachel did this.
Yes.
Okay. So it's Fever Dreams. The yarn is Versus, and it used 1 skein of each color, except the gray is 2 skeins.
Right.
So I'll take it off real quick. I think we've shown this before on another podcast.
We have.
Because it's relatively new.
Carissa did it for us.
Yeah. So I conveniently wore black so that I could pick whatever I wanted to.
And I like the way you asked me if this was just going to be my uniform from now on.
Well, you have to stand up so people can see. So you don't have your little boots on.
No, I was afraid you'd make fun of me.
No, you weren't. So she's got these new boots that she wears all the time that
So-
Kristy likes. Kristy Glass loves them.
Of course
apparently.
she does. So, my sweater is a little short to wear with leggings. So I found this long tank that maybe looks a little bit like a skirt.
So I told Mom, I asked Mom this morning if that was her new uniform.
She's so hard on me.
I'm not hard on you. It's cute, but it just comes across the way I say it as me. So anyway,
All right.
so do we have this yarn?
Yes, we do. We still have that. And I've got all the colors in it.
You've got all the colors in this and more colors, different colors.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we all know what Mom is wearing. There's no need to even name what it is. Oh, but side note. I haven't asked you about this. Did you see Nice and Knit? The one they posted?
I did. Did you also see Chasing Rabbits?
No, I didn't see the one Chasing Rabbits did.
No.
All right, mine first. So
Kit.
Nice and Knit.
The kit Chasing Rabbits did.
No, we're back on Nice and Knit first.
Okay.
So Nice and Knit, I saw it, I think yesterday it was. I think it's blue, because of course that got my attention because it was
course.
blue, because it's navy blue. And kind of a a pale, pinky,
Coral.
coral for the top. So I immediately sent the girls a note and said, "You are going to bring this to the pop-up, aren't you? I'm going to get to see this in person." And they said yes, and they're bringing kits. So anyway, so that's fun. All right, now Chasing Rabbits.
Chasing
You tell me.
Rabbits posted a kit. You commented on it
Um,
on Instagram.
well, I might have commented on the color, because, you know, it's all about color sometimes.
It was blue.
It was blue.
It wasn't purple.
Yeah. I can't help it. That's when you're supposed to comment. So just note to self, if I'm commenting, if there's a comment about a blue yarn, it comes from me. If there's a comment about purple yarn, it comes from Mom. So anyway, let me just go look at that real quick. Anyway, it's all, everybody, all of the dye. Oh, yeah. I remember seeing this one now. See, the difference was, the reason I didn't remember it was because Nice and Knit posted a picture of the sweater done.
Right, and this is just a kit.
This is a kit. Chasing Rabbits
But it's
did.
gorgeous.
Chasing Rabbits did a picture of the kit. I mean, of her kit, yeah. It's going to be really nice.
Speaking of Chasing Rabbits,
Oh, yeah. When are we going to get it?
probably the end of this week.
Okay. Because I've got to post that.
We will be stocking Chasing Rabbits, which we're really excited about.
Yeah. She's from Texas.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so that'll be a new fun hand dyed in.
yes. And then we also are getting Fuse in
Fuse Fiber Studio?
before the end of the month. We'll have it for the pop-up shop.
Right. And we just kind of pick colorways. We don't really pick exact colors. We just kind of
Give her a palette.
Give her a palette ideas. So I happen to mention blue.
There you go. I bet she mentioned purple too.
I will. I told her. No, she asked me to go look at some of her stuff, and I looked at it and commented on the blue, and then I said I would go look at the rest. So I told her jewel tones.
That works.
Yeah.
That works.
So that's 2 new things that'll be coming in. That's going to be new in April.
And then the lambs wool, I'm not sure when it'll get here. I've already ordered it.
Yeah. So what are you working on?
Well, I took a sock, Helen Stewart's,
You took a sock where?
to Edinburgh on the plane. That's what I worked on. Well, I took 2 or 3 things, but you know, I only worked on a sock. Winter Rose socks, Helen Stewart.
Is this why she saw you, the lady asked about your class, you think? She saw you working on this?
No, well, maybe. I don't know. The reason I do socks on a 9-inch circular, and that's a little different
Weird.
than what other people do.
Yeah, because I couldn't do it.
So this is, I finished one.
Are these for you?
They fit me.
Mm-hmm.
They fit me. I did, I don't know if you can see it or not, I did an Eye of the Partridge heel.
Now you always do an Eye of the Partridge heel.
It looks fancy. I like an eye. It's still a slip stitch heel. So the normal slip stitch heel is knit 1, slip 1, knit 1, slip 1, every right side row. And with this, you do the same thing, except you alternate. So right side rows, knit 1, slip 1. The next right side row is slip 1, knit 1. And it gives a little bit of a, just a little different look about
You
it.
see how that thing is bouncing?
This thing,
Yeah, if it's all wiggly when I go to edit this,
it's gonna be all my fault. Anyhow,
I'm not going to be happy.
anyhow. So this is, and I always do a cuff down. I don't do a toe up. I like the heel flap and the gusset. And I am,
So that's what you've been working on then?
well, I haven't worked on it since I got home.
You haven't?
No.
Okay.
I did all of this while I was gone. So I'm about halfway through the gusset on this
Yeah,
one.
You're almost done.
I know.
What yarn are you using?
I'm using Swift. her, what is it?
Bliss sock?
Bliss sock, which
Ooh,
is
I came up with a name.
How about it? Merino cashmere nylon, has a really tight twist, and I really do like it. And I struggled a little bit. This had knit 3 together.
Oh, in some places, yeah.
Yeah, that pattern is knit 3 together, which is a little difficult on a 1. But I did it.
I wonder if she's bringing the Bliss sock to the pop-up.
I'm sure she will.
We have some still, though. I don't think we have any solid. Well, we have that one color that you're doing. We still have one.
And we've got
couple
some
skeins
gray,
of
and
that.
we've got
Yeah.
some burgundy.
Yeah, we've got a lot of speckled of the Swift Bliss sock, though.
More springy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great for socks. Great for socks. And then I am working on, look at me in my plastic bag. All my other bags are full. I am working on The Shift by Andrea Mowry.
Everybody's working on the shift.
I placed an order the day I got home from Edinburgh, and I knew when I placed it I didn't place enough. I just didn't know how little I ordered.
Yeah, because, I mean, we've still got some, but the bright colors are all gone, right?
I've got 3 or 4 kits left.
You do?
Put together, yeah. So this is mine.
So how is that done in the construction, Mom?
Well, you're going to sew it together.
You're going to sew it together? You're not going to Kitchener it together?
Nope, not Kitchener. So you end up
Well, that's right up my alley.
stitching this side. The other sides have got an I-cord edging.
Okay.
So this side, and then at the end, when you get down to the end of it, there is a side that gets stitched to that so that you have kind of a point.
Okay.
The spin cycle's fun though. Look at that.
It's always changing.
Always changing. These are my colors, and you would never dream that they would work together,
I would.
but they do. It's fun. It's just slip stitches. It's not
Nothing hard about it?
nothing hard about it. Fun though. Keeps your interest. Carol and Laura are both working on
Those are customers.
Casapinka's Your Slip Showing,
Yeah, the slip showing
and they
shawl.
both love it. I wish I had one of them to show. We'll show them when they're finished. Carol's almost done.
And does that one take 3 skeins?
That one takes, no, this one takes 3 skeins. I think that one takes 5.
Oh, because
4
that's
or
right. 'Cause
5.
I think Carol was using some of her stash, and she bought some
Right.
to add to supplement her
So
stash.
it's a good one to use up stash.
Okay.
And you just have to buy a couple to go with it.
Okay.
But she said it was just, it's like this one. It's fun. It's slip stitches. So you kind of want to do a little bit more to see what it's going to look like next. And I've got several other things in the works, but that's all
That's what your current stuff is.
yeah.
So I am working on, since everybody, is dying to know what I'm working on. The Very Gifted Cowl, which is old news now because I posted it back before Mom left to go to Edinburgh and I was going to Florida. And I love, love, love this color. I have shoes to match.
Nice.
I didn't know that I had shoes to match. They're Benelli's, I think. No, they're Via Spigas.
Oh, okay.
And they're suede. They're blue suede, but they're not navy. And they're the kind of blue that you look at them and you go, what are you going to wear these with?
Right. Now you know.
Black, white blouse. If I finish it.
I get a text from her last night
Yeah.
that says, how many inches do I need to do on this? And I said, well, what does it say? And she said, 6 to 18. And I said, well, I knew she was holding mohair with it. And I said, at least you have to finish the mohair.
I'm never going to finish the mohair. This mohair is going to go forever. Well, I'm gonna run out. So I'm using Shibui. What is this, Mom? This is the cotton.
It's rain, I believe.
Yeah, this is the rain. So whatever runs out. Actually, I can only go 10 inches because with one skein it got me to 5. I'm at 7 inches now.
Okay.
And then this is the Silk Cloud, right?
It is.
So anyway, I love the blue. It's gonna look really great when I get it done. And then we all know what else I'm working on that I have a deadline to get done before she gets here on the 13th. But I will say this, I'm making progress. I've almost got that one sleeve done. It's just that the cuff is so dang long. It's 6 inches.
This one's 7.
I know, well, it goes on forever. And then I'm on those little itty bitty 9-inch needles that I hate. I hate those things. Anyway.
Do them on double points then.
I should, but then I'll have a ladder.
That's why you use a 9-inch.
That's why I use a 9-inch, and I'm just going to keep going and know it's not forever. But anyway, but I am making, the sleeve isn't really that long because the cool thing about her sweaters is you only have to do like 2/3 of a sleeve.
Right.
You know?
Right. And it's full. That's
Yeah.
the only thing.
Yeah.
But then the cuff is small.
Yeah. So anyway, but I was looking this morning on Ravelry about sweaters because La Bienne had that new sweater. Did you see it in Edinburgh?
I did.
The Winterfell? Is that what it is?
No.
No, it wasn't. She didn't design it, but she had it designed for her in her yarn.
Andrea Mowry?
No, it was
Andrea, the big thing in Edinburgh in La Bienne was La Bienne's new sport yarn that Andrea Mowry designed.
okay. Well, the one I'm talking about is the Winterfell cardigan.
Oh yes, that was also done in it. I did not see
You
that
didn't
one.
see it?
No.
Of
but
course,
I've
it's
looked
done in
at it.
blue.
I've looked at it.
It's done in blue. It's I think you pronounce her name Katrin Schneider. And you're not going to be able to see this if I hold it up, but I've seen people posting pictures with this sweater. And so I was looking at it, and I didn't really realize that it was a cardigan. I knew it was the Winterfell name. I saw the post, and of course I saw other people are doing it in blue, which gets my attention. So I went to her on Instagram, and I started looking at her pictures on Instagram, right? And I told you I got down the wormhole this morning. So I started looking at her stuff, and I found this sweater, and you're gonna laugh at me. It's called Raspberry and Cream. And I'm very self-aware, and I recognize the fact that it may just be the color that I like and not actually the sweater. It's a broken rib. See if you guys can see that. Can you see it? At least you can see it to go look at it on Instagram, on Ravelry. It's got just a little bitty short neck on it. It came out in February, I think. It's done in fingering weight yarn.
Is it done in fingering?
It's done in fingering. It's just it's a plain broken rib.
It's pretty.
And yeah, you can see it there. It's just one of those sweaters that I think you could just wear. No pockets, nothing. Anyway, it's a lot of knitting, but I also yeah, that's pretty color.
That would be pretty.
Yeah. It's the color I like too, right? So again, navy. Now this is purple. It's a
Kind
pinky
of.
purple.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's the color I'm drawn to or really the sweater. So I'm trying to self-analyze that because that might be something that I do because I figure maybe if I start on it now, I'll have it ready for fall.
You don't want me to do it for you?
No, I don't want you doing it for me. You're not doing... I'll tell you something you can do for me when I find it.
Okay.
I have to knit things for myself, Mom. I have to. I have to be a big girl and do it. So, anyway,
And for her to be looking at a fingering, she's
I know,
not
that's
a
why I go.
fingering
I
girl.
look at it and go, oh, is it DK? Is it DK? Please be DK. Nope. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe I could use Western Sky because it's a little bit heavier. So I don't know.
Okay.
If I decide to let you do it for me, I'll let you know.
All right then.
So we have one more thing we got in that we haven't talked about. We haven't talked about the bags.
Oh, let's talk about the bags.
So we got these in home row.
So I've got this one turned down
Yep.
to use as a, because she calls these yarn bowls, which if you had it turned down, it would be.
Yeah, would be a bowl.
But then it has a handle on it and a drawstring.
We don't have many left. Matter of fact, we've got the hands and the deer left in 3 or 4 colors,
And that's all.
and that's all. All the bears are gone. What else did we get besides bears? Owls, right?
Owls and bears.
Yep.
She's got some new
Fabrics.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I need to probably place an order.
Yeah, so we can get those after the pop-up. So,
We also got some Gus bags. Let me go get one of those.
okay, go get those. While she's going to get those, I'll tell her a little bit. So we've gotten the new camera. You heard at the last podcast that Mom's taken on a new project, and she's going to work on getting better photographs of the yarn, and all of that stuff is in, and she's going to start that. So hopefully when we get the Chasing Rabbits yarn.
Well, I'm going to re-photograph all the yarn.
No, I know, but that's going to be a work in progress, Mom. You can't just,
No, I'm going to take it one at a time.
you're going to take it one at a time. And what I'm saying is
Is that maybe I can
that
get
Chasing
good
Rabbits
pictures.
will be the next one that comes in.
Probably, yeah. I'm going to try.
And so,
Be patient with
Yeah.
me, but I will get it right.
let's talk about these bags.
So this is a Gus bag. This is a local Frederick girl. Sally Fourth Company is what Kelly is the name. And she put the oilcloth on the inside for me. It's got pockets and elastic for
needles, and
needles or whatever.
whatever.
Yeah,
So we
And-
got some of those in last week.
this week. Just
This
got
week,
these.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a heavy.
I like the canvas handle on
Yeah.
them.
Yep.
This is a canvas. So,
I have a few of those. I sold one yesterday.
oh, did you? Okay.
And she's local to Frederick.
Gotta
Nice.
support our local crafters. Oh, when are we gonna get in Magpie's new yarn? Speaking of local crafters,
Maybe the end of this week.
really? That soon?
She said.
Okay.
Definitely before Caitlin gets here, she said.
Okay, so for the Magpie lovers, if you followed Magpie, you know that she has come out with a single ply.
She released it in Edinburgh.
Yeah, she released it in Edinburgh, and we just placed an order for it. So we will have that, and I don't know if it's going to be something that we carry all the time or not, but we are going to have it for now, and we'll see how it does.
If you guys like it, we'll carry it.
Yeah, you going to photograph that too? You're just going to get in a rhythm, Mom, and you're going to.
I think so. It's even got a remote.
Oh boy, she's going to be dangerous now.
I know. I'll have the camera set up and you won't know it, and I'll be going.
Gosh. Anyway, is that everything?
I think that's everything.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for watching.
What about where you can find us?
I know. Don't you think that do we need to say that every time? Do you think?
What if
do
we
you
have
think-
somebody new?
But what about the people that get tired of hearing it? Do you think they get tired of? If you get tired of hearing it, I'm sorry, but Mom says we have to say it every time. I guess.
I had a lady in that somehow found our podcast. She's from South Carolina, and had no idea where we were located.
We're in Frederick, Maryland,
She thought we were in California.
which is outside of DC, about an hour from DC, an hour from 45 minutes from Baltimore. You can find us at www.knothousyarns.com. You can find us on Instagram as The Knot House, and you can find us on Ravelry as The Knot House.
Yes.
And you can find us on Facebook as
The Knot House.
The Knot House. So, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Never gets old saying thank you for watching, but for some reason it gets old saying where we are all the time. But
Well, we do appreciate all of you, and we appreciate you watching.
all right,
Thank
we'll
you.
see you again soon. Thanks.
Bye.